I'm Rick Drasin, and this is Rick's Corner coming from the Rick Drasin School of Pro Wrestling, and I'm talking here to Austin, who is one of our top guys and one of the biggest guys that we have, and we're going to fire some questions at him, and we'll see what he has to tell you about wrestling. Austin, what do you do for a living right now?
Well, for a living, I'm a bouncer over at Cabo Cantina in Santa Monica, and
Yeah.
I'm also a student.
Well, let's talk about your other living,
Okay.
what you're doing about teaching.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I actually am a master's student at CSUN, Cal State Northridge, and I teach a couple different classes: History 150, History 303. So I'm, affecting the youth of America.
You see, there is some intelligence to this guy. He's not just a big, ugly guy with tattoos, and he actually isn't ugly at all. But he's got some common sense, and he's got some brains, and that's the point I'm trying to make to all you kids who write in here. Don't you feel that everybody who wants to be a wrestler at a young age, that they should stay in school and get a degree in something besides wrestling?
Absolutely, because the one thing that can happen is this is a very fragile industry, and I know firsthand because I broke my wrist in the ring shortly after starting training. So, you never know what could happen, and it's always great to have something that you can fall back on that is, stable.
Yeah, you get a lot of injuries, and you were out how long with that wrist?
It actually took me 3 months. It was a pretty severe break. It broke both bones in the wrist, and training was very tough during it, and then after to come back, but, I've been able to make it back.
Yeah, well, you got a lot of drive, and it takes a lot of drive to do this.
That's the main thing.
You have to work through your injuries, right?
Yeah, that's the thing, too, and a lot of people don't understand, and that bothers me, is that people, don't know the difference between being hurt and being injured. And I had to work through a major injury, but people, they're sore after a class, and they think, oh, well, this is wrong, so I'm not supposed to be sore, I better take time off. That's not how it works, and that bothers me.
Well, sure, and that's the other thing. I mean, some people say, okay, I'll come train once a week, or you have people across the country that train, like I said, on a trampoline, or they go and they just try to learn some quick moves, and that's not really wrestling. I mean, the more you train, obviously, the more you get out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like going to a gym to build your body as a bodybuilder. You wouldn't make any progress on once a week going to the gym. You have to go several days a week in order to keep the body moving and keep it working. It's the same thing in the ring. You have skills, and you work those skills, and you work them until you get better at them. Then you add new skills to them, and you just keep adding to your repertoire of wrestling.
Right, and I'm in the gym, besides being out here in the ring, I'm in the gym, 5 days a week. I'm pushing myself there, and that's like such a key part of the foundation. If you're going to do this, you can't just jump in the ring with no athletic experience or no bodybuilding training.
That's right. And what about your diet?
And the diet too, that's the main point. I mean, I have to eat a very specific regimen of meals every day, and it's tedious to make and it's tedious to follow, but I make sure that I commit to it, because without the proper diet, I mean, all the rest of the training would be kind of worthless.
That's exactly right. You are what you eat.
Pretty much.
Pretty much, that's it. Now, what are your views on training as far as what we do, the old school style, compared to some of the things you see on TV today with the ladders and the chairs and the top rope stuff?
Well, the thing that I really like about it is it's building this foundation that, it's all about the psychology of the match, and you're putting on a match. You don't need to have like every other move be this high-flying flip off the ropes where you're just putting yourself at risk for no point. It actually ruins the whole moment of a match when you have that big move at the end. If you're doing that throughout the match and there's no point to it, there's no psychology. The way we do it here is, we build, we work on hold to hold. We're doing a lot more than just flying off the ropes, and it makes more sense, and it's much more enjoyable for an audience to connect with.
I agree with you. You have to have that psychology of the match. You have to have a story and a reason why what you're doing. So you guys out there that send me the videos and say, watch me wrestle, again, as I've told you many, many times, it's not just about moves and jumping off ropes. Get yourself a character. Let that character build. Be something. Be someone different. Don't be somebody you see on TV. Be somebody that you can be. Austin's his own person. He's his own character. There's nobody like him, even though you guys write in and say he reminds you of Jeff Hardy or this and that. He is his own guy, and he'll develop his own character to be who he is. And that's what you have to do, because you have to take notice. People want to see something different. They don't want to see clones. And sometimes in WWE lately, I feel that everybody's a clone of somebody else. There's no originality anymore. They've gone into a different direction. I watched Ring of Honor. Have you seen Ring of Honor?
I have not been too familiar with
Ring of Honor is really good. I mean, they've got some good wrestlers and people we haven't seen. Those guys are great. They're doing different stuff. It's old school stuff. The production's good, and it's a good thing to watch as far as learning. And even the old school stuff on YouTube is also good. It's things I send you that
absolutely.
I ask you to watch sometimes. Okay.
Yeah.
But any advice you give to these guys? Because I've got 500,000 viewers out there that watch us, and they ask a lot of questions about training and what to do. And what advice would you give these guys today? They're anywhere from the ages 12 on up.
Well, if you're going to want to do this, you have to be dedicated and disciplined. Things come up in life where you start a workout regimen and then you quit. Start a diet and then you quit. If you're going to do this, you have to commit 100%, or don't try it at all, because it's really pointless unless you really want to do it. But you can do it. You just have to, have that discipline.
It takes a lot of discipline.
A lot.
And the more discipline you put in here and you put in the gym, the more discipline you'll put into life. Because if you can do this and you can go to the gym and commit to a diet, a training session, and wrestling, anything you do from that point on in your job, in your career, in your marriage, or in your whole lifestyle, you will do 100% and you'll get a lot more results out of it, don't you think?
I think so, because, you know, lifting is very difficult work in the gym, and you know what? If you can conquer those mountains, you can conquer a lot of things in life too.
Right, especially when you see instant results.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Austin, and thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time we interview one of our AWF students at Rick's Corner.